Welcome back, fiends. I know we're all itching to get into a pack, and today we are cracking a deck of cards that have already been cracked. Sorry. This is going to be a little bit of a different video because these are all cards that I cracked prior to starting the channel, but I wanted to share them with you guys. And before we get started with what is in the box, what's in the box? I had to share one funny little sidebar here because when I was sleeving these, you're going to see these are all in some Dragon Shield sleeves because that's all I had on me at the time. I was using one of these cards as a bookmark, so I didn't get it sleeved. So there's Knights of Dol Amroth. And as you can see down here, I'm probably already spoiling some of the surprise. But yeah, I just thought we would go through and talk about some cards that I got these on a whim, and they got me back into Magic. And I'm so happy I'm back because after 10 years, from last year back to when I kind of dropped out around the time of Theros in 2014, I missed it, man. I regret it, but we can't take the past back. We can only move forward with cracking into these packs. So here we go. Obviously, because Knights of Dol Amroth is in there, we're looking at Lord of the Rings. This gorgeous forest. And I feel like an idiot just now saying this. I'm just now noticing the two hobbits down there in Fangorn Forest. So great. So deep. So detailed is the art. There we have our scene stones. I used this as a bookmark too when I was reading a book to my son last winter. But it's in good shape because it's in there now. Got a cool swamp. Got the Dunedain blade. They don't have a Morgul blade. They need a Morgul blade, man. We have a Morgul blade off here to the side that we don't need today. They need a Morgul blade. Improvised club, and you gotta love that. Don't have a club? Just pick up a goblin. Swing them around. Lash of the Balrog. And I got so giddy opening this because I was like, oh, you think that means I might get a Balrog card? Never knowing one day I'd have two of them, you know? Golem's Bite. And just look at that raw, metal, evil artwork. Oh my god. I love it. And of course it has that great quote that I'll always hear Ian McKellen's voice in my head saying it, but do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment. Gollum has some part to play yet before the end. Speaking of Gandalf, there's a sanction right there. Fantastic wizardry. Council's deliberation. And, you know, going back to Gandalf's sanction really quick, I mean, all these cards are a great example, but I know people have their opinions about Universes Beyond, and I've obviously outed myself as really loving Lord of the Rings. I think it fits so perfectly into Magic, not just because of the fantasy setting, but just the way that all of the different things, Mordor, elves, wizards, it all just folds so perfectly into what was already long established by Magic. Stone of Eric. Peregrine Took, that was my first experience with a showcase card. Didn't know what the hell showcases were when I popped this open. And was very excited to get Peregrine Took there. Pippin, sorry. One ring to rule them all, and of course, I was very excited about that. I think that's probably the most valued of all the price points of the cards in here. I'm not quite sure. Butter Burberry Innkeeper, my first foil Magic in 10 years, so he's got a soft spot in my heart, this guy, carrying the flagons of mead. And here's some more. Oh, there's an orc armies for when we amass some orcs. This next one, this is all from one pack. That was kind of a separator. And there is Saruman of Many Colors. I misspoke in one of the previous Rings videos, maybe on the tin, where I said I had this card. I don't have the card. I just have both the stamp and the art, the regular version of the art card. But it's cool nonetheless. And okay, I didn't put these back in the right order. There is a foil showcase Frodo Sauron's Bane. And to find this at the back of the pack that we are now going to have diminishing returns on, because I didn't put them back in the right order, there is a file of Galadriel. There's a Nazgul. This may be my favorite art so far out of all the Lord of the Rings cards I have. That is just so fucking killer, dude. And a deck can have up to 9 cards named Nazgul, don't forget. Grey Havens. Borderless Grey Havens. This is significant because Stone of Eric, Bath Song with regular Greyhavens. So, Greyhavens, borderless Greyhavens, Showcase Frodo, Sauron's Bane, and that cool Saruman of Many Colors art, all in the same booster pack, man. This is just from a regular set booster. Haradrim Spearmaster, Rohirrim Lancer, Relentless Rohirrim. I love it. And Second Breakfast. I think there's a law you have to say Second Breakfast like that. So yeah, man, let me shove these all up here so we got a cool background. Lord of the Rings, dude. Lord of the Rings. Now, I bought the first Lord of the Rings pack, that one with Pippin in it, at the same time that I got a couple other packs, because it was, like I said, just a wild hair. I kind of want to get back into Magic. What's out right now that's affordable and interesting, and I can just crack a pack and, you know what, scratch that itch, and if that's all it is, that's all it is, and I can be done with it, and I'll still have some Magic cards laying around to kind of remember what once was. So I also got one that I thought I would like based on the aesthetic, and you'll be unsurprised to find that it is Bloomburrow, or as I always think of it in my head, Redwall. So the full art island there, beautiful, gorgeously rendered foil finch formation. This snail that I cannot get enough of. I love that snail, dude. That looks like it belongs on those trippy poster art versions of the Lord of the Rings cards. And if I was the type of person to have tattoos, that would be in the running for one I would get, simply because it is so good. And the regular finch formation, this is all from the same pack. Warren Elder. I love it. Rabbit Strength in Numbers. Dire Sight. And you know I love my frog, so the art alone here had me. We're going to keep going, though. Veteran Guard Mouse. I mean, Redwall vibes all over it. How do you not love that? Sazakap's Brew. Oh, I skipped it. Sorry. Seedpod Squire. The flowy, crazy art on that guy. Bravekin Duo. Off on an adventure through Mossflower. You can't deny they were inspired by it for this. The Brazen Collector. Raccoon Rogue. Risks taken to retrieve a prize only increase its value. It's like us cracking these packs, man. And Splash Lasher. Because when I saw Frog Wizard, I knew I was all in. I liked it anyway, but in my head it was like, Frog Wizard? Dude, I'm back in. I'm building a frog deck. That's all there is to it. And so he did. Got to hop to it and create 3 1/1 White Rabbit tokens just to be a pain in the ass. Fountain Port, so useful, so handy. And then this was waiting for me at the back, folks. Glarb Calamity's Augur. So you're the face melter. You're casually interested in Magic again. You start seeing frog art, and then you get a frog wizard, and then you get to the back and you pull a Frog Wizard Noble Mythic Rare. This frog, chilling on his throne, casually handling his sword. I'm done, dude. One-shotted, as they say. I'm back in all the way. And Glarb is actually a commander I use in a commander deck. Because I think he's awesome. And I love frogs. All right. Now, as I've also mentioned many times before, the set that was out when me and my friends started getting into playing Magic instead of just buying a pack of cards like once a year to look at the cool fantasy underground metal album horror art that I originally fell in love with. When I first started playing it, it was all about Innistrad, Dark Ascension, Avacyn Restored, and so I had to get me some Midnight Hunt. You know I did. We got to start off with this Clue token, this crazy, wild voodoo doll, candles out in the woods, kind of AI realistic, but also like just super detailed paint realism. Clue token. That's just a token, and that's incredible. Foil Harvest Tide Sentry. Whew. Look at it bounce off the axe, man. That is cool. Spectral Adversary art card. I didn't get these back in order either. Sorry, I'm probably going to spoil the surprise early. This full art, I don't know what they call that, if that's like it's the showcase kind of style of art, but I don't think it's a showcase land. Maybe it is. Tell me below. Tell me how wrong I am below and comment. But that is gorgeous. Again, very similar to what you might not, to what would not seem out of place in Wilds of Eldraine, I think. Kind of a fairy tale, a dark, grim fairy tale kind of thing. Consider. Got the steampunk magnifying binocular telescope glasses. And it wouldn't be Innistrad without a human cleric. Celestis Sanctifier. Crossroads Candle Guide. Look at this crazy ass Halloween, Samhain, Ray Bradbury, Halloween tree. Here, dude. Look at this Crossroads Candle Guide. The poetry of the words alone. Throw that nutso Halloween artwork on it. And it's a scarecrow, an artifact scarecrow. And then let's just flavor the stew with the finishing touch of the text. Do the candle guide's heads turn to follow you as you pass? Or is it merely a trick of the flickering light? Beautiful. That's a common. That's beautiful. Devious cover-up. We got some Harvest Home action going on. Go read that book if you don't know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If you don't, go find out. It is a great book, and you'll never enjoy the movie Midsummer again after you read it. Flesh Taker. Worried about a clown in the cornfield coming up this summer? You ought to be worried about this dude hiding in the cornfield. If I saw that, I would shit my pants, have a heart attack, spit out my heart, and then die. Corpse Cobble. Got some Victor Frankenstein action going on. Oh, yeah, ambitious farmhand. Oh, yeah. Because you know what happened? Oh, we got to look. We got to look, right? We're daybound. Nightbound. We are a seasoned Cathar. Cathar? I've never known how to say it right. That is cool. Get you back in the Dragon Shield where you belong. We got more, don't you worry. I'm going to have to one at a time them because we have the Heirloom Mirror. First of all, that's radical. Heirloom Mirror. Speak my name thrice and be rewarded. Are you kidding me? That is the flavor I want in my magic. And that is the Inherited Fiend. Well done, young fool, well done. Now for your reward. He'd probably sound scarier than that. Sorry. My voice acting. It's been a tough day, people. We're partially opening old Magic cards to ease the sting of a long day that didn't particularly go well at the time of recording. Tavern Ruffian. Also a common. This is the showcase. I didn't know that at the time. I just saw this like crazy EC comic book art style. And I saw Werewolf, and I'm like, okay, Tavern Ruffian, it's a 4-drop for a 2/5. I know that's coming, but look at this thing. Tavern Smasher, dude. Call him Break Stuff. Call him Fred Durst. That is amazing. That is fantastic. Michael Walsh, man. Hats off, sir. If only. And then, you see it down there. The old Renin 7. And I think out of all the cards you're going to see today, I think this one is maybe worth the most. I think this is worth, I don't remember. I looked it up at one time, and I don't really care because I'm not going to get rid of them. Renin 7. And I never had a Planeswalker with 4 abilities on it, I don't think, back in the day. So, Lord of the Rings, Bloomburrow, Innistrad, Midnight Hunt. And then, you know, I'm back in. So first thing I had to do this year when it came out, when I saw this in the store, was swipe up Innistrad Remastered. And I love this. I love that they come back to it. It is, again, it is kind of the antithesis of what I always say about everything else, where remaking, remastering, rebooting things is sort of lazy, but it's more of what I like, so I guess I am the problem. Neonate's Rush, which we have seen before, but it's great. And Moldegraph Millipede, which we have seen before, but it is rude, boy. Look at that. A millipede in a field of bones and skulls. Insect horror, indeed. The Lunarch Mantle. You've got to love the implication of that. Battleground Geist. Love the Geist. Strangleroot Geist is probably one of my favorites, but and Geist Catcher's Rig, I love the art for that one. Oh, that'll be ingrained in my memory forever. Crawl from the side. Zombie. I love it. Blazing Torch, because you can't have a set that's gothic horror without just a one-drop torch artifact. Fantastic. Harvest Hand. Ugh. Right up there with the Crossroads Candle Guide. Look at that thing. The harvest is never finished. I can hear it in my head. I want to hear the guy from The Witch, Ralph Ineson. I want to hear him say that line. Can we get a magic game with Ralph Ineson? We got to flip it. See what the Harvest Hand becomes. The Scrounge Scythe. Fantastic. Got some Wicker Man action going on in the back, too. They know their audience with this one. That's all I can say. Restless Bloodseeker. Okay. We got to see what he turns into. You know what it is. Blood-Soaked Reveler. It's a guy from the rave scene at the beginning of Blade. Gorgeous. Okay, a few more. Cackling Counterpart. Just a devil hanging out with, what is it, Mjolnir? Thor's hammer. So cool. Savage Alliance, dude. You've got somebody wielding fire and you've got a werewolf ripping Hydra tentacles. Or perhaps possessed roots. Bonkers. I love it. Collective Defiance. Chandra making an appearance. It's like, oh yeah, there's our rare sorcery. Okay, cool. Earth. Oh, but what about that? What about a retro framed Think Twice? Loving your old magic so much. Well, Anthony Francisco gonna give it to you. Beautiful. And a foil. I love this one. Deadly Allure. Ooh, what could be more irresistible than death? Slam that in a Golgari deck. You kidding me? And then to cap it all off, with two more to cap it all off. But again, retro frame, Mountain Land, Sam White, well done, sir, because this Castlevania-looking moon behind the mountain, this coach taking Jonathan Harker to Dracula's castle at the bottom, that says it all. That says everything I love about the Innistrad vibe in one little square piece of art. And then at the back, we've got another art card. Gitrog Monster. Gitrog Monster Mash. I love it. And that poor bastard. No idea what he's in for. I want to find the crazy, like, old school horror poster art of that one. Real bad. So yeah, that's all there is to say, folks. Just showing you guys some cards that you've already seen elsewhere. I know none of this is new, but it was new to me just a few months ago, and it wasn't just a nostalgia thing. That was kind of what it started out as when I bought these, was just a trip back in time and to kind of revisit something that I loved and had missed for a long time. But opening these cards brought back more than just a warm, fuzzy feeling of like, oh, I used to enjoy playing that with my friends. It was like, man, this took me so far back to just a love of fantasy and horror and the kind of emotions and the storytelling that the artwork can invoke, and also playing the game, and combined with the thrill of, like, yeah, the gambling aspect of, like, you buy a pack of these or a box of these or whatever, and you don't know what you're going to get. So I hope you guys enjoy, the few of you that watch this, I hope you enjoy me sharing it with you. I hope it's all positive vibes out there, man. If you see those packs, scoop them up, crack them open, because sealed packs are for cowards who wouldn't dare venture near Dracula's castle or out in a boat to go fishing with a Gitrog monster on the loose. But until next time, peace.